it's Beth at Paris House Woolworks and North Atlantic Fiber Arts with a little studio update. Um, I just finished or almost finished Prey, with the exception of putting the sea glass in the eye here. But what I'm going to be doing right now while I update everyone is I'm going to be steaming this piece because I haven't steamed it yet. I'm in the studio in Paris, Maine. I'm not in my Rockland studio today. And yeah, I just thought I'd give a little studio update. Um, I have obviously finished this piece, and the piece that I'm going to be working on next is the one called Playing Small Serves No One, or Don't Play Small, I guess, is really what I have named it. And that one is kind of a piece to kind of help embolden a lot of us to find our voices. I think this is a really important time for that. And yeah, that piece is going to be next on my frame. I'm going to take it to Rockland with me tomorrow. I just got accepted into a gallery that I'm very, very excited about out on the coast, and I'll be talking about that a little bit more when I can. I'll make a Substack post about it, put it up on Blue Sky. You know, I'll be publicizing that a little bit more when I have more of the details. This coming weekend, I'm teaching at RSU 18, which is actually an adult ed program in Waterville, Maine. I started my teaching career, my rug hooking teaching career at Telstar High School. Their adult ed program, and I've taught at a couple of other adult ed programs, and I gotta tell you, I love teaching at these small adult ed programs, public adult ed programs, just as much as I enjoy teaching at places like the Farnsworth Museum and Fiber College and the Squam Art Workshops and some of the more prestigious places that you can teach. I really enjoy it. I love the students who come to adult ed. They're always curious. They always are ready for something new. And it's just really exciting. So I'm doing that on Saturday this coming week. And I've got this particular venue I teach with kits. So I've got my patterns done for them, and I've got a bunch of wool back here that I'll be cutting up at some point soon for that. And then I'm also going to be teaching at Sabbath Day Lake Shaker Village again this year, which is one of my favorite venues. I'm really excited about that. I'll be teaching there again this summer, and my husband will be teaching soap making there again this summer. And I will have more information on that also on the social media and on, my newsletter and all of that stuff. And let's see, the other place I'll be teaching again is Pleasant Mountain Fiber Art Workshops in Denmark, Maine. Fantastic venue, very fun, great students. There's almost no cell service out there in Denmark, Maine, over in Western Maine toward the New Hampshire border. And in a way, it's a blessing because I cannot be distracted by or tempted to look at my cell phone during lunch hour because I'm not gonna get anything. So I have to re-wet this rag so that I can continue steaming, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, if any of you are unfamiliar with the steaming process for a finished hook rug, by the way, I do have on my YouTube channel a whole tutorial on steaming hooked rugs when they're finished. Basically what it does is it flattens out the piece, so if you have any curling at all, the piece starts to flatten out a bit. It also tends to pull the fiber a little nice and tighter together. It just makes the whole thing look a lot more finished. A lot of times my students, my beginner students, the first time they ever steam a hooked piece, they're just both shocked and delighted by how gorgeous that piece looks. And as you can see, I'm now steaming the back of this piece. I steamed the front a minute ago, and now I'm steaming the back. And yeah, I'm excited. The next step for this piece is going to be binding it. Again, on my YouTube channel, I have a video on several different ways to bind pieces. My YouTube channel is still small after all these years. I just got my 1,000th subscriber to my YouTube channel. And I'm hoping to be able to use my YouTube channel more, actually, now that I am mostly off of Facebook and Instagram. As I explained in a prior video, really don't like the leadership at Meta, don't like the compromises that are being made to appease the current regime, and I'm trying to use it as little as possible, although I am still occasionally posting some of the more major updates there just so that people can find it and link over to my Substack, my Blue Sky, my YouTube, my website, and all of that. So let's see how we're doing. You can see it's actually starting to kind of flatten out a little bit. I think I still have some curling down here in the water, and part of the reason that that's still a thing is because I have very tightly hooked this area with a whole variety of yarns and wools and all kinds of things. So I think what I'm going to do is give that another shot. And see how that flattens it out a bit. I may have to wet this just a little bit more, which would mean I need to take another break from this video process. Anyway, it's starting to come along. Yeah, I'm gonna wet the rag again. Be back in a sec. Okay, so let's try to steam that out a little bit better. I think I'm gonna go on the back side of it. The last thing that I want to talk about as part of a studio update is I'm going to be starting a art activist, craftivist group here in Paris, Maine, at the Paris House. I'm thinking probably once a month, Wednesday nights. But I'm going to make it also a hybrid kind of event so that if you can't join us in Paris, Maine, which is totally understandable, this is a very rural area and a lot of you aren't anywhere near here. I'm also going to have the Zoom open so that we can meet together and do activist art together. And it can be any medium. It can be stitching. It can be rug hooking like this. It can be any kind of visual art, painting, sketching, whatever your preferred medium is. That's what we'll do. I think it will be, for those who are here in person, it will be a potluck kind of situation. And if you can't be here in person, you know, bring your favorite beverages and snacks. And it will also serve as a place for us to kind of meet and organize and talk about what we can do individually in our communities, as well as what we can do as organized parts of communities and groups to counter some of the authoritarian things that are going on in our country today. And I also think that it will serve to create a body of activist art that we can then exhibit, and possibly exhibit either in a physical location. I have some ideas of where we could possibly exhibit this art after several months of doing this initiative. I think we'll have quite a bit of art made that we could possibly put into an exhibit. And we can do that both in a physical location and possibly also create an online exhibit. So if that is something that you think you might be interested in, keep an eye out again on my Substack, my Blue Sky. Because I want to reach a lot of people, I might put a post up on Facebook and Instagram, even though, as I said, I'm using them very little now. Yeah, just keep an eye out. And also you can sign up for the newsletter. You can sign up for it either at NorthAtlanticFiberArts.com or ParisHouseWoolworks.com. And I think that's it for a studio update right now. So this is all steamed up, and it's ready for me to do the embellishment at the eye of the fish and also to bind it. And I am going to bind it with tool tape binding in such a way that the binding will be invisible. It will only be visible from the back. This is what the back looks like, which is pretty close to what the front looks like. And so it will be, visually frameless. I didn't want anything along the edges competing with the design. But anyway, that's where we are, and I thank you for listening. Bye.